So I know that there's at least some people out there who watch my videos who are either creating travel videos of their own or interested perhaps in creating travel videos, either, you know, professionally with an aim of making YouTube into a job, or just casually to document their memories. And by all means, don't feel that if you're just doing it casually, it's not important, or that is somehow not as cool as doing it with a more professional approach. In fact, I would say that for most people, just treating it as a hobby and making the videos that you really want to see is probably the best way to approach it, and it's definitely the least stressful way to do things. So don't think that that's not something to be proud of if you're in that situation. But for those of you who are perhaps looking to take it more seriously, for those of you who might see a channel like my main channel, The New Travel, and think, okay, how does someone grow that channel? How do you get subscribers? How does this YouTube game work for travel channels? I want to offer you a few quick tips. These are going to be quick ones to share, but they've taken me years to learn. And I also went through a period of time when I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought, you know, these big name YouTubers, they must have some secret sauce, or they must know the CEO of YouTube or something, because they seem to have it all figured out, and like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you're in that situation, don't worry, because my first tip is patience is key. At the beginning, you're probably not going to know what you're doing. I didn't know what I was doing. Most people don't know what they're doing. This is a good thing. See this as a chance to experiment. See this as a chance to find your own voice. See this as a chance to fail, and to learn from those failures, and then to grow as a creator. There's actually, it's kind of ironic, but I've seen a lot of people who are like successful photographers on Instagram, and then they try to enter the YouTube space, and then after 5 or 6 videos, you know, they have 20 subscribers and they're getting 12 views on their videos, and they're used to being like big shots on Instagram or some other platform, so they quit because they have like a high standard, and then yeah, they can't immediately reach that on YouTube, and they're wondering why their awesome videos aren't being viewed. But it's just like you've set yourself up for failure if you're approaching it that way. If you approach it the other way, which is just thinking, hey, I'm making these videos for myself before anyone else, if they get views, that's even better. But like, first of all, I want to be happy about them, and I just want to make everyone a little bit better than the one before. I don't expect to know what I'm doing at the beginning. That's the way I approached it, and I think that's the way a lot of people approach it. And that's really the healthiest way to get started. Tip number 2, this has to do with what I'm filming on right now, which is a tiny little camera, smaller than the size of my hand. This is the Osmo Action camera. Just film with whatever you have. Whatever camera, whether it's your cell phone, whether it's a point and shoot camera, whether it's a GoPro or an Osmo Action camera like this, just start making videos, because the gear, okay, there's this whole thing where like YouTubers say the gear doesn't matter, and yet they also film with like $7,000 cameras and stuff. And then people watching are like, well, isn't that a contradiction? Like, why are you telling me gear doesn't matter and you're showing all this gear? The truth is, gear doesn't matter at the beginning, because what you really want to do is you want to work on your storytelling ability, and you want to work on being an engaging personality with the audience, I guess. Because trust me, if you can keep people's attention with a little camera like this, then once you eventually know what you're doing and you upgrade to the big cameras, then people are going to be like, oh my god, this is amazing. But if you start with the big cameras and you have no personality and you don't really know what you're doing, and you have all these buttons but you don't know what they mean, it doesn't matter. The camera can't do the work for you. You need to like grow into the gear. So start small, and yeah, just start small. Beautiful day, isn't it? Tip number 3, and again, this is for people who want to treat YouTube like a business, who want to see growth on their channel. You need to start thinking about searchable content. What does that mean, searchable content? Isn't anything searchable? Can't anything be found? No. Your video where it's like me and the dog playing frisbee at the beach is not searchable content. First of all, there's probably thousands of videos of people playing with their dog at the beach, throwing a frisbee. And second of all, nobody knows who you are yet. Nobody knows who your dog is yet. Nobody cares because they have no connection to you. If you build a connection over time, you know, you might see someone very famous in the travel space, like if, I don't know, if Lost LeBlanc or Sam Colder or Kara and Nate, like one of these like more famous travel YouTubers has a dog and they're playing frisbee with that dog, they'll probably get 200,000 views. But that's because they already have the connection with the audience. And people get confused sometimes. They see big YouTubers and they say, oh, I'll just do what they're doing. But no, you actually, if anything, you should go back and look at what they were doing at the beginning, because it was the beginning where they were like getting the growth that got to them to that stage. And part of what you got to do is make searchable content. A video like this is searchable content because someone who has no idea who I am could type into YouTube, you know, how to grow a travel YouTube channel, come across this video, and then find me in the park talking to my camera and hopefully not hate it. And then they might stick around and find my other videos. You know, that's up to them. Like, I'll give you another example. Let's say you take a trip to Peru. Let's say you go to Machu Picchu. The beginner's thing to do, and you know, this is like the beginner's thing to do is to make a vlog showing your trip to Machu Picchu. I would probably do that. Even today, I'd probably do that. But like the next level thing to do is to make a video like, you know, 5 tips for anyone who's going to visit Machu Picchu. Or, you know, 3 things you need to bring on your trip to Machu Picchu. Or don't do this when you go to Machu Picchu. You know, a little bit clickbaity, but you got to consider someone who's considering going to Machu Picchu. They're going to be like, oh yeah, what shouldn't I do? That's a good thing for me to know. Or what gear do I need to bring on this trip? Things like that. You're solving a problem for them. You're helping them research their trip. And so people are going to click on that. It's a bit more planning, it's a bit more work sometimes to make those informational videos, but that's an example of searchable content that anyone in the travel space could be making. All right, tip number 4, let's get a little technical here for a moment. This is one that I'm not doing in this video, particularly just because I'm filming this a bit lazily, but you might have noticed there's a lot of my face and my head in this video. That's not the best way to film a travel video. Generally speaking, you want to get more B-roll as much as possible. When I do my travel videos and I'm filming with people who don't normally make videos with me, I need to explain to them, listen, it might look in the video like we're just casually walking through a neighborhood, but I actually need to stop and set up and get the shots fairly often. So it'll take at least 2 to 3 times longer to do a walk than you might think it will. Because I'm stopping to get B-roll, I'm stopping to film little details, get some shots of strangers on the street, get some shots of the little details of the trees or the building, or these moments, I don't know, they might seem self-indulgent or unnecessary as you're filming them, but when you're editing the video, that's when all that B-roll footage really comes in and really starts to shine. And it will really separate your video from the average travel vlog, which is just 90% face shots like you're seeing right now. No one else cares about your face nearly as much as you do. No one else needs to see that if you're a stranger. They really appreciate seeing the city, seeing what's out there, you know? Maybe I should just actually like start showing you out there. Now that I'm self-conscious about the fact that I've been breaking tip number 4 this entire time. All right, tip number 5, this is the last one I got for you today. Don't be afraid of digging into YouTube analytics and actually taking a look at the data that YouTube has gathered for you. YouTube, of course, is owned by Google, and Google has more data on you than any other company in the world. Like, that is their business model, data. So if you go into YouTube analytics, you're going to see data about your videos. It's going to tell you who is watching which video the most, but it's also going to tell you like specific moments of the video when they might dip down and more people click away. You're going to be able to check like which thumbnails are most effective, which titles are most effective. You're going to be able to see where the search traffic is coming from. Like I said, are people clicking on your video because they searched into YouTube themselves? Are they being recommended your video by the algorithm? Are the views coming externally, which means that maybe someone shared it on Facebook or something and you're getting a bunch of views from a different source or a website? Like, you know, I had a video, I showed basically how to get from Vancouver to Victoria, 2 Canadian cities, and I was taking a ferry, and like the company who owns the ferry ended up sharing that video on their website, which is, I mean, you know, it's good for them because it helps people navigate the trip, but it was good for me too because that video was getting a ton of views from them. So to this day, like it was, I don't know about today, but for a while it was getting 100 views a day just from their website, which, you know, over a significant period of time, that adds up quickly. And that's the power of searchable content. It's another great thing about searchable content. It can keep its value for 2, 3, 4 years. Whereas a video you do like, I don't know, New Year's Eve 2021, it's really only got a couple days that people care about it. And after that, it's lost its value. So for anyone out there who's interested in growing a channel, I hope this little sit down video has helped a little bit. And yeah, leave me a comment if you have an additional tip to add. Yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time. Yeah, man, what's up?
Wow, I just discovered your channel a couple of days ago.
Oh, cool. I don't know if you guys saw that. That guy he saw me filming and then he just stopped, and then I looked over. I'm like, okay, he's going to recognize me from the video, so I could just tell the way he stopped. So I said hello and talked for about 5 minutes with Simon. Nice guy. And with that, I'm gonna go. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time.